right, welcome everyone to another virtual blind flight night with the Maumee Valley Whiskey Society. I'm Joe.
And I'm Jess.
And we've got everybody ready to go backstage. So how this is going to work, we are going to taste through each of the 6 samples we have in front of us. We're going to do that one by one while we've got a little countdown going on. And then we're going to bring everybody back, give everybody in the group an opportunity to give us their first impressions of each pour. Once we've worked through those, we'll open it up free form to go back through side by side till everybody has their rankings. We'll get our group ranking and score it, and then we'll let everybody know what we've been trying. Again, tonight's theme are single barrels and Kentucky single barrels. So let's bring everybody in.
Oh, yeah.
We've got Don and Mike.
Hey, guys. What's up, guys?
We've got Kevin.
What's up?
Chris. We got Jason. Landon, Aaron,
Hey.
and Paul. All right, how are you doing, guys?
Good.
All right. Based on backstage earlier, I'm assuming everybody is all warmed up and ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Well, we will dive right in. We've got 6 pours in front of us. Go ahead and pick up glass number 1. We're going to run through our countdown here, give you guys about a minute or so to get familiar with glass number 1, and we will come back with your first impressions. All right. So as you got a chance to get into glass number 1, we're going to go around and get your guys' first impressions. Let's start with Paul. Let's start on your end here, buddy. What did you think first impressions on glass 1?
Good.
Paul, what did you think first impressions on glass 1?
Kind of sweet to the nose.
Yep.
Very light ethanol, so it's definitely not 100 proofer. Color's beautiful on it. Tasting it, it kind of sat on my tongue. Some caramels, vanillas, sweet, light on the oak. Overall, I liked it. It's a good pour.
Okay. Yeah, I had some similar notes. Thought it was light, a little bit ethanol in the nose. I thought it was light and fruity on the palate. I was picking up fruit, like real light fruit on the nose. It had a surprising little bit of a spiciness or pepperiness to it on the back end leading into the finish, which kind of surprised me based on the nose. But let's see what Aaron thought. Aaron, what did you think first impressions on glass number 1?
I got a little bit of mustiness on the nose. Yeah, I got the same notes as Paul, basically.
Okay. All right. And Chris, sir, what did you think about glass number 1?
Yeah, so I thought it clinged actually pretty well considering how light it
That sounds
appeared.
like
I thought it was kind of, light like straw, if you would. The aroma I had just cherry. I couldn't pick nothing up but, fruit, mainly cherry. Flavor I had cherry oak, light vanilla, and I thought it had a medium finish.
Okay. All right.
Real bad.
Great. And we've got some comments coming in here. Now we got Dusty Dan watching around from Dusty Dan's Whiskey Reviews. Dan, thanks.
I'm trying to.
Let's move over to Jason. Jason, what did you think? First impressions on Glass One?
I thought it had almost a very light woody, just a light wood taste to it. It's not heavy oak on it, and had that light fruit taste to it also. But overall, it was good. Like Chris was saying, it's got pretty long legs on it. Clings to the glass pretty good and everything like that. But I liked it.
I didn't hear him calling you, but I see you on the big screen, Landon.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Yep. So I would imagine it's going to you.
How'd you like it?
No, that was my fault. What did you think? First impressions on Glass One?
It was lighter on the glass, but like had great legs.
Let me see if that's not in here.
Some good woodiness vibes there. Good mouthfeel, some spicy on the back end. Overall, this is decent, I would say.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I was surprised with how light and fruity the nose and palate came out with that. That spiciness was just catching me off on the finish there. Kevin, what did you think first impressions on Glass One?
I didn't really care for the smell. It was very sweet. My very first sip, I got milk dud, which was shocking, and then it changed. But I got like a light cherry. My first on the finish, like the finish was sweet, and then it turned to spicy, like you were talking about, like with the black pepper at the end. The finish, I liked it a lot. So
Okay, all right. Yeah, and the more I go back to the nose, I think the nose is getting better the more I go back to it. But let's go over here to Don and Mike. Don, what did you think? First impressions on Glass One?
I liked it. I had a sweet fruity note on the nose. I didn't pick up the fruit as much on the flavor. It said light, not complex, and I had sweet vanilla was the most prominent. But on the finish, I actually wrote like a musty earthiness to it, but I got that quick pepper bite, like you said, but it wasn't long, like it wasn't a high proof or anything. It was just like a quick bite of pepper, and then it was gone. But I liked it. It's good.
Okay.
And set him up by the way the
and Mike, what about you?
Yeah, on the nose, I was getting like butterscotch pudding. On the flavor, I got a little bit of vanilla, real light oakiness, and then, I noticed. Chris, I think, said straw color. I wrote down straw for the color, and I was impressed by the legs though at the same time with how light the color was. But overall, it was a good pour.
Okay, great. I knew I was forgetting something. Casey just put in the chat mellow corn, and let me stand by. That was for Kevin. Stand by 1 minute. I guess I didn't include him on the on the message here. We're gonna.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, give your notes while I get him on here.
Yeah, I agree with Chris. It's definitely the straw color. It's the lightest of the bunch. I got a light cherry, like honey on the nose, little bit of oak. It was like cherry vanilla on the palate, which for me is kind of weird because I don't normally pick up a cherry note, but I did on this. It is thin. I did get that spice mid palate, but I felt like it had a really like it was spicy at first, but then it flattened out and there really wasn't much to it. So, I mean, it's good, but it wasn't blowing me away.
Yeah, I had similar. Casey, I just sent you that through Messenger, so hop on when you get that. Sorry about that, buddy. Yeah, I think round out everybody was kind of the same, kind of light, a little spicy. It was good. Parts of it were underwhelming, but
Yeah.
So the other thing we do is after each pour, we just give a simple rating: thumbs up, sideways.
Did we get Aaron?
So where are we at on this?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'm probably a thumbs up. I mean, it was nice, light, sweet. Okay. So
I wouldn't say no to it.
yeah, a little mixed, not bad. All
Did we
right.
get Aaron's notes?
Aaron didn't give a note. Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Did he?
He was
Aaron.
number 2.
Yeah, he said he agreed with everything that Paul said.
Right of
Oh,
mine.
I apologize.
Aaron, you're muted, buddy.
And then let's see.
Said
KC, did
I
you
got a
get
musty
the,
note on the aroma.
That's right.
That's
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
right.
yeah.
Musty. Yep.
let
There we
me,
go.
see.
Hey, for the record, I was going to buy mellow corn for my warm up, but I couldn't pull the trigger. I went to Falcon and everything. I just couldn't do it.
All right.
Have you ever tried it?
Yeah, I gave my bottle to Casey. I hated it so much.
Oh, okay.
So
That's
KC, I sent it to both that, and I sent it to Beautiful Bourbon too. If you're logged in as Beautiful Bourbon, I just sent it over there. So just jump in whenever you get a chance. All right, so we will move on to glass number 2. Go ahead and pick up glass 2. We'll get our timer going here and give you a chance to spend some time with it and come back with your reaction.
I smelled it.
I received her.
All right, so we got KC with us. Hey man, thanks for
AC.
What up, Casey?
Howdy, Casey.
Hey, Casey, I was telling the group I was going to drink some mellow corn to warm up, but I couldn't pull the trigger.
Okay.
Oh, Casey, I can't hear you, bud.
Have you tried number 1?
Well, I get that. Okay. Yeah, let's get his audio set here.
All right, how about now?
Oh,
Yeah.
clear. So before we move on with first impressions of glass 2, Casey, did you have a chance to get into glass 1 at all?
I did. I did.
Got any first impressions?
I didn't get a chance to nose it because I was already behind. But I like the flavor of it. I thought it brought out some really nice caramels. A little bit of vanilla on there too. Really mellow, nicely balanced. I kind of like that one.
Okay. All right. And well, since we're already with you, what about, did you get a chance for glass 2 or you need a minute? We can start the other way.
I need just a moment, please.
No problem. We'll go up to the top here. Let's start back with Don and Mike.
One might be black, just the way it presents itself.
Don, what did you think? First impressions on glass 2?
So I really like this one. I have a feeling I might know what this one is. Right off the aroma, I got an immediate cherry note. We were talking right away. It didn't have, the legs were so much different than the other one, where the other one was clinging to the glass very well. This one was just clinging to where it was. It wasn't really dropping so much.
It was more oily.
Yeah, definitely oily. And I wrote that down for the finish. I got a nice caramel finish, and it oiled the tongue or coated the tongue well. So I was getting caramel, like, just even now, I'm just still tasting caramel in my mouth. Very good.
This one's making me salivate a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I like that. Cherry, like Don said, we kind of both have, we're not going to say it yet, but we have an idea of what we think this might be. Yeah, cherry, nice little spice to the end of it. And same thing, it coats the entire glass like an oil bomb.
Okay.
I like it.
Awesome. Yeah, I kind of, wow, struck me weird coming off of number 1. The first sip, I got a lot of like bitter chocolate up front. It was a little jarring off the first one. And then it kind of mellowed out a little bit. Yeah. And then I picked up some of those caramels, kind of burnt brown sugar. the mouthfeel was, I mean, it was definitely a better mouth, but definitely heavier than Glass One.
Yeah.
Very different than Glass One, I thought. Well, let's see what Kevin thought. I want to know what he thought. Kevin, first impressions on Glass.
No, I got the cherry, sweet, fruity notes off the aroma. I have a hard time pulling. I just really enjoy this one. Like, I thought I really liked the last one.
It's definitely high.
Oh boy, I really like this one. I think I like bourbon.
I think I'm on board with you on that one.
Sounds like a good problem to have.
Awesome. Let's go over to Landon. Landon, what did you think first impressions on Glass 2?
Yeah, this one is very good. Great aroma. I wrote down bright cherry with I got banana. I don't know. I got some banana, some rich oak and caramel in the palate. Very rich, makes you salivate. This one has my mouth salivated.
Okay. All right. You're on board with Mike on that one. Let's go over to Jason. Jason, let us know what you thought about Glass 2.
I thought at first it was almost like a dusty mouthfeel, but not like drinking a dusty, right? But it was drying on the tongue a little bit too, and but then it just definitely lingered just on in that oily lingering taste on it. It was a great mouthfeel, it was a great pour. I really enjoyed this one.
All right, that seems to be a common theme. Chris, buddy, what about you? First impressions on Glass 2.
Yeah, so appearance, I thought it was caramel and coloring. Same as Don and Mike, it definitely clinked like the top of the glass and did not drop at all. I had a slight ethanol, a little bit of cherry, some caramel, vanilla. On the flavor, I had spice and like vanilla extract as opposed to like vanilla bean. So it was kind of almost like an imitation vanilla, if you would. On the finish, I had short to medium.
Okay.
I thought it was good overall, though.
Good overall. All right. And Aaron, what did you think first impressions on Glass 2?
I prefer this one to the first one. It was kind of weird. I got like a richer sweetness on the nose, but it was like a richer sweetness on the palate on the first one. But I just love the way it stuck around and the way it gave you that Kentucky hug. It was really nice.
Okay. Great. All right. We got some good positive reviews on this one. Paul, let us know what you thought about Glass 2.
The color's a tawny color. On the smell, I got your typical vanillas, caramels, kind of medium on the ethanol smell. Taste, were pretty much creamy, buttery, vanilla. It kind of sat in the middle of my tongue versus tried to, as KC would say, bloom out. It just kind of sat in the middle of my tongue. Kind of on the finish, it was kind of a medium to long finish. I definitely got more of the rye or spices on the finish than I did up front. That's overall, I give it a thumbs up.
Okay. All right. And let's go to the review man himself, KC. What did you think? First impressions on Glass 2?
Well, the nose, I got fruit. I'd probably go along with one of Chris's notable notes is black cherry. I'm getting some fruit on there, maybe some plum. That was on the nose. On the palate, savory and oaky were two notes that really kind of stood out. It had like Paul said, it had a magnificent blue, just really, really nice. And it just kind of it just took its time. The finish was long. And like somebody else said, my mouth is watering over this one. I like it when that happens. I like the flavor of this one. I like the color of this one. This one for me, I could make this a daily drinker. This is really tasty.
Okay. Interesting. All right. We'll see if it's one of the available. Some of these are a little more available, some are not. That actually brings me to a point. I've already talked to some people about this, is that everybody knew the lineup or saw the lineup going into this. But it turned out, surprisingly enough, there's one bottle in there I had ran out of, and I didn't realize it. So one of these has been swapped out for a substitute. They are still all Kentucky single barrels, but you don't know which one was swapped out. You don't know
Almost,
which was swapped out
almost like a double blind, a single double blind.
with. Yeah. So
I didn't see that lineup, so it is a blind for me.
There you go.
That
Yeah.
was blind. Oh man.
I didn't you
So
skip
yeah.
me again.
So oh yeah, we did.
But I'm glad you went to me last because I'm going to say it was banana caramel. That's all I smelled, all I tasted. I did get bitterness. I agree with you guys. It was dark and oily, but I got like darker caramel,
Yeah.
you know, that kind of, but I definitely
Super
banana
simple.
throughout.
Yeah, and I think that bitter chocolate note I got that was a little jarring up front was more of that savory note that kind of mellowed out for me as I went. And I think that was that savory note you guys were talking about. So I have a feeling how this is going to go, but where are we at across the board with our thumb meter here? Oh wow, we got a couple 2 thumbs up. Oh, 1.5. Okay. Okay, so that was definitely a popular pour. That's good. We're starting off good. We start off good. We got even better. Let's go
Downhill.
three and see if that trend continues. I'll get our timers going here, and we'll spend a little bit of time with it, and we will come back with your first impressions.
Yeah.
Okay. We've spent a little bit of time with Glass 3, and I will tell you my impressions. I don't know if it has quite the nose as 2 did, but I was really digging the flavor of this one. This was hitting pretty good for me. But it doesn't really matter what I think. Let's find out what you guys thought. Let's start over with Kevin. Kevin, what were your first impressions on
I was hoping to start with me because I can't pull that out. I thought the smell was very similar to 1. The taste, there's something unique, and I can't pull it out. And I was praying you didn't choose me first.
Well, you can. Let's move on. You can chime in after you get some inspiration from everybody else.
For sure.
Now I'm getting
Let's go over to Don and Mike. Don, what did you think first impressions on Glass 3?
Aroma, we got like orange, like a creamsicle almost. Ethanol, we both got ethanol real quick right on the first sip. I need to go back to here in a second. Done.
Yeah, I mean exactly that. I was thinking more vanilla-y, and he said orange. I was like, yeah, orange creamsicle. I got that. First sip was super vanilla or super ethanol-y. The legs are at first they were more like 2, but now that I've let it sit, and they're kind of running a little bit. It's not coating my mouth as long, but I like it. It's sweet, not overly complex, not picking out anything right away, but yeah, the nose was more prominent than the palate.
Yeah, when you guys were talking about the fruit, I was trying to pick it out, that vanilla with the fruit, almost like a vanilla custard with some like fruit jam or something I was getting on it, which it's amazing how your palate changes. Because if you would have asked me 3 months ago, I didn't want any, I was digging like dark chocolate, caramels, brown sugars, and now some of that like fruit jam kind of flavors I'm kind of digging now. So let's cinnamon. Anything else?
I don't know. I like it though.
You like it? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's go over to Landon. Let's see what Landon thought.
Yeah, appearance, it was right in the middle. Had great legs to it. I couldn't get much on the nose. For flavors, I wrote vanilla caramel. Then I had some like that spearmint, like it was not really more like not pepper, but more like mint, maybe that ethanol. Coming off number 2, not as good of a mouthfeel. This one's just okay for me.
Okay, interesting. All right. Let's go over to Jason. Jason, what did you think? First impressions on Glass 3.
I thought this one was more a light herbal like taste to it, more like you guys had said the custard, the vanilla custard, but it was like a citrus with vanilla custard. I'm suspecting this is a higher rye on this one. There's just that kind of rye note towards the end of it, but
Okay.
it clings to the sides of the tongue as it goes on back, but not to the whole. It doesn't coat the whole tongue, just the sides of the tongue.
Okay. Yeah. So that's a couple times that citrus has been mentioned. I was talking jam, like maybe like an orange marmalade or something like that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Maybe I was getting. Let's go to Chris. Chris, what were you thinking about Glass 3?
Yeah, it's funny the way Don said that it clinged, and then because I thought the same thing, but then when I looked back at it, it was starting to like just drip, like it had wide legs. So it was kind of surprising.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah, exactly. On the aroma, I thought it was the lightest on the nose. I was picking up a little bit of honey and like a light maple syrup. Nothing amber and definitely not robust. The flavor, I just had spice up front and sweet on the back end. Maybe some berries, kind of like a blueberry, strawberry, kind of like smoothie berry. No berry in particular. And I thought the finish was actually very short. I was surprised.
Okay. Interesting. All right. And let's go over to Aaron. Aaron, what did you think? First impressions on Glass 3.
Very similar to everybody else. I thought the finish stuck around a little bit, anyways. I thought it was nice the way the spiciness hung around. I got like an oaky, tannic note that kind of took away from it, but in some weird way, I like it also. So
It's not bad.
I like it better than the first one.
Okay.
Out of
All right. Interesting. It's interesting how these start shaking out. Paul, let's go to you. What did you think? First impressions on Glass 3.
I got a mahogany color to it. It was very light on the nose. It was hard to pick out a lot of flavor because of the kind of a little more presented itself as a little more higher ethanol on the nose. On the palate, it was definitely the sweetness was strong, buttery and vanilla. Caramel, I get a lot of light fruits to it, maybe like, I don't know, like kind of like a combination of apples and peaches, kind of like that kind of a light fruit.
Okay.
I do get the a citrus to it, and it's definitely not dry into the tongue when you go for the finish. I got a little bit of spice on the back of the palate, but I got to agree with Chris. It kind of rolls on the back side of your tongue and sits there as you're drinking it back. And then kind of a medium finish to it for me.
Okay. All right. That was a good breakdown. And KC, what did you think? First impressions on Glass 3.
Some of my notes are going to be similar to everybody else's. On the nose, I got a higher ethanol right off the bat. And if I didn't know, there was a little bit of a mustiness to it. If I didn't know better, I'd say this came out of like a secondary cask, like a rum or a sherry cask. And then I detected, and this is not a nice note, but it is a nice note if you look at it a certain way. I caught a whiff of sawdust. So, sawdust, I love the way the sawdust smells, and it was just something about that I got a little sawdust on it. On the palate, the first thing I got a hold of was some honeycomb. Then I added some cinnamon to it. And then as I heard other people talk, and I got a little bit of that herbal sense. The finish for me was orange jam. Maybe that marmalade like you were talking about. It's definitely some oak in it that I liked. It's a nice pour. I still like 2 a little bit better than this one because of the mustiness on the nose. But this was a nice pour too.
Okay, great. Kevin, what about going back to you? Any new thoughts?
Yeah, I like your custard, like almost like a creme brulee with like not a lot of sugar.
Yeah.
Okay, I just picked that up. I can see what
Okay.
Casey coming on that.
Yeah, I kind of agree with the group. It was hard for me.
Okay. All right. So where are we at across the board with our thumb meter? Oh, 2 thumbs up. Oh, just okay. Okay, so this one's a little more mixed. Okay. Very interesting. A little more mixed. Okay. Well, we are a half hour into it. We've been through 3 of the 6 pours. Those of you who have been around for a while, you know what time it is. It's time to take a pause, a time out, grab some water, refresh your palates, let your palate come down to temperature for a little bit. We got a little bit of Whiskey Society news. As you can see, I'm sporting the new sweater, little hoodie with the Whiskey Society logo. So if you haven't checked out our store, it is linked on the website, MaumeyValleyWhiskey.com. You can go to the store. We've got a couple new T-shirt designs. We got the sweater. We've got a coffee mug. That's pretty cool. I'm a coffee mug collector, so I like that. We are working on getting another order of hats and some Glencairns and Kenzie's and some rock glasses and some stuff like that. So that'll be cool to check out. This week, it's been the big news. I'm sure you've just been excited about all the blasting of the advertisements I've been sending out about the charity events. But we do have 2 really good charities we're trying to support. So I encourage you to tell all your friends, whether you can attend or can't attend, tell everybody about it. We're going to have a cocktail reception. We're going to have a dinner. We're going to do some sensory training, a blind flight. We've got a VIP flight available after that. So tell everybody it. Let's try and raise a little bit of money for our charities we're supporting. And then, of course, the big news that was just launched today, we have our bottle release date for our Found North Barrel Pick. Yes, I'm excited about that. It will be releasing via shared pour on Saturday, March 4th. That's going to be released in tier format. So founding executive tiers will get their private link to buy a bottle at noon. Then full member tier, it will at 1 p.m. get their link. And then the social members at 2. And then it'll open to public orders, our public Facebook group at 3 o'clock for any orders. So hopefully we can, I want everyone to be able to get a bottle, but hopefully we'll sell out quick, and that'll continue to allow us to keep on doing barrel picks. So a lot of fun stuff. We've got 2 more in March. We're doing a Nashville Barrel Company pick. Really excited about that. And then also Starlight at the end of March. And we'll have release dates that we'll put out there as well. So any questions about what's going on with the Whiskey Society from the group?
Nope.
All right. If anybody has any questions in chat, just kind of put them up there and we'll get to that. Or if you have any comments about the pours we're having. But if there's nothing else, let's go ahead and move on to glass number 4. Pick up 4, take a look at it. Looks like we're getting into a little bit of a darker pours. We'll get our countdown on here, spend some time with it. We will come back with your first impressions. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So I don't know about you guys, but I mean, we've had some good pours up till now, but this one is like when I want bourbon.
Yeah.
This is bourbon. This is a
Funny you
classic.
say that. Yes.
So, all right. So let's change it back up here in the order. Give somebody else the spotlight. Aaron, let's go to you. What did you think? First impressions on Glass 4.
Well, it's definitely viscous, and I actually got the usual, vanilla, butterscotch, and it had a floral note to it also.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really like the richness to it. It's got like a nice bourbon punch to it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it had some really good richness, all those classic bourbon notes that you want to hit, but it was just maybe a little better than average. Let's go over to Paul. Paul, what did you think? First impressions on Glass 4.
Glass 4, I got a lot of dark fruit notes up front. Still kind of working on it. I'm getting a lot of toffee, sweetness, spiciness. I'm actually picking up a little bit of a cedar taste to it. Looking at the flavor wheel here, so please bear with me.
Yeah, no worries. I know Will's not in here to put the flavor wheel up for it. I didn't have that queued up.
Yeah, it's really spicy on the back end once you swallow it. It's like there's the heavy rye spice, the peppery, but then there's like right at the end something just really sweet that just kicks you right in the back of the throat, and I can't figure out what that sweetness is. Overall, it's not a bad pour.
All right. Let's go over to Casey. Casey, what did you think? First impressions on Glass 4.
I got orange on the nose. I didn't get any ethanol at first, and then the more I stuck my nose down in the glass, I was able to pick up some ethanol. I also picked up a little hazelnut, which normally I would say that's kind of an oaky thing, but this was definitely sweeter, like a hazelnut. Then on the palate, I agree with somebody else. I got floral. I got fruity. Not sure what fruit. It was a sweeter one. Maybe plum. Maybe. Yeah, plum. Kind of wine-like.
Okay.
The legs were longer for me, and the fruit stayed on those legs for a good. I mean, they're still there. Still getting a fruity note to it, even now, a few seconds after trying it.
Okay. And you mentioned the orange. I went back to the nose when you said that, and I was getting some darker notes. Those and I love it when I get this. I've gotten it a few times on bourbon. Those chocolate oranges at Christmas time that like break apart.
Yeah, you gotta bust them in order to.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love those.
Yeah, there might be some.
Still got one.
All right, let's go to you, Chris. What did you think, Glass 4?
Yeah, so I mean, I thought this one clinged to the glass at first, and like develops these bulbs, and then it just drips down the glass. The aroma I had, you guys nailed it. I had classic bourbon. Vanillas, caramels. I kind of had to dig for some like stone fruit, maybe some cherry, but I think KC really nailed it with the plum. On the flavor, again, caramel, butterscotch. I thought it had a great mouthfeel. It was short on the finish, and like Paul said, it went from sweet to spice and then back to sweet again. I thought it was really good. This is my favorite so far.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, it's nice getting a complex pour like that. Something that'll give you something to kind of search for and move around. So
yeah,
let's find out what Jason thought. Jason, first impressions on Glass 4.
Yeah, I hit that a little bit of that florally note at first or whatever with it, but it came into that toffee, very rich on the taste and everything, and almost like a little bit of a sweet dark chocolate on it, and then that finish. Yeah, this is a great very reminiscent of a great bourbon.
I agree with that chocolate note on the finish for sure. I didn't think about it, and then as he said it, I'm like, oh yeah, I get that.
Yeah, that darker sweet barrel chocolate note. I love when you get a sweet barrel chocolate note.
Yep.
Well, let's find out what Landon thought. Landon, first impressions on Glass 4.
Yeah, this one's really good. This one's with number 2 in my opinion. Very sweet, dark fruit on the nose. Very rich oak, musty. The way it coated the mouth was like earthy, and definitely that chocolate. I wrote down chocolate on the end there. This one's very good. One probably the most so far. I don't know. I'm between number 2.
Okay. Yeah, I think so
with
too.
You. I'm gonna have to go back and compare the two because I'm definitely like
I'm putting 2, 3, and 4 up there together, but I think 2 and 4 might be slightly ahead of 3. But let's go to the Night Owl, see what Kevin thought. Kevin, first impressions on Glass 4.
Yeah, my first sip or first note was brown sugar, like the traditional bourbon. And then when you said that chocolate orange on the finish, that's all I could taste after that, and it was delicious. I've literally rated these. These are going to be like tenths or hundreds difference between the first 4. I mean, these are just good.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm really glad you're enjoying it. Kentucky makes some pretty good whiskey. Other states do too, but Kentucky's makes some pretty good whiskey. All right, let's go to Don and Mike. Guys, what did you think? First impressions on Glass 4.
So this is good. It's a classic bourbon. What I was telling Don is it took a while, but on the very back end of the finish, I got have you ever gotten a spoonful of cocoa where it kind of dries your tongue out, but has a chocolatey taste? That's what I got. Very faint on the back end of the flavor.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit hot, but sweet. I think Chris said sweet, hot, sweet. That's what I got too. Caramel and color, vanilla, floral flavors on the nose, but I like it.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. So it was exactly kind of the same thing. I really had to look for that cocoa finish, but we were talking about, I got it was floral for me up front, but it was sweet floral, a little bit of the spice, and then back to sweet caramel finish. But on the finish, I got a real peppery finish, but I noticed it actually it coated my tongue nicely. But when I switched it around looking for our notes, it dried my tongue out pretty obviously. But I mean, I'm agreeing with everybody. It's between 2 and 4 for me on right now, but very good. I really like that one.
Yeah, and I really think Kevin had it right on. I mean, these. I have a feeling you're all going to like these, and it's going to be really nitpicking.
Sure.
Some of the minute maybe flaws in there to get one over the other. But what did you think?
I love the Scotch. I mean, I can smell the brown sugar that you guys are talking about. This little oaky. I mean, chocolate orange. I don't know. I don't really like those, so I hope I don't get that. I thought it was viscous, oily, had a good mouthfeel. It's got a little bit of spice in there. It lasted a little longer. I'm with Landon. It's going to be 2 and 4 right now are my front runners, but I don't know I'll have to go back and compare to decide. But
yeah, and that was what I was going to say too. Is that when I picked it up, the legs were super obvious. They were right there. Yeah. Really like that one.
All right, so I have a feeling this is going to be a popular one. Where are we at across the board here?
That's
okay. Couple 2 thumbs up. Okay, so real positive. So good. We went from a thumbs up to 2 thumbs up to a mix to a 2 thumbs up. So we're doing pretty good tonight. I like that.
So I want to revise my number 2 to 2 thumbs up because I didn't know that was a thing. So,
agree with you.
Thumbs up for number 2 for sure.
Nice.
It's like Who's Line. The rules are made up and the points don't matter anyways.
Yeah, the 2 thumbs up just became a thing. It wasn't.
That's true. The points don't matter because at the end of the day, you're drinking good bourbons.
Right. There's one of these I would have turned down.
So, all right. Well, let's go ahead and pick up Glass 5, which may look to be getting even darker. And I'll get our countdowns going. Get familiar with Glass 5, and we'll come back with your first impression. What's that?
Real quick before you jump into it, I'm looking at these glasses because I'm trying to learn from the other night, and I'm not like drinking the whole thing.
Yeah.
And as I sip them here, I see that 1, 2, 3, and 4, they're very similar in color under the right light. Now, if I move them over, I mean, once you've emptied about half the bottle, the color, I don't know, there's something about it that they're more similar half empty than they were before. Kind of interesting. Yeah. Okay.
Cool. All right. All right. We'll get the timer and we'll come back with your first impressions. All right, so hopefully you guys kind of have an idea of what your first impression is right now, and I don't influence you too much. But 2 and 4 to me just became a tie for number 2.
Wow,
this is, I think, clearly my
tie for number 2, huh?
Wow. I think this is clearly my number 1. But again, like I said, doesn't matter what I think. Let's see what the group thinks. Let's go with Landon first this time. Landon, what did you think? First impressions on Glass 5?
I thought this one was the darkest on the appearance, had great legs as well. On the aroma, I got some dark wood, nothing really much from there. On the palate, I got, the nose carried through on the palate, some aged wood with some spices, maybe some vanilla in there. More like vanilla extract with that bitterness a little bit. And on the finish, a good hug finish. This one, I like this one as well. I'm definitely gonna have to go back through these.
Oh yeah. Going back through and side by siding is gonna be tough on these. Let's go over to Jason. Jason, let us know what you thought about Glass 5.
This reminded me of working with dark walnut in the wood shop. That smell. It was more ethanol on the taste and the flavor with it than some of the others, but it has a medium finish comparatively to some of the other ones, but it's overall just a really good bourbon.
Okay. Awesome. And Chris, let us know, buddy. What did you think? First impressions on Glass 5?
So I agree with everybody. I mean, it's clearly the darkest. I thought it was the most viscous as well. On the nose, I had vanilla, some ethanol. On the flavor, I had medicinal cherry, like that I'm not a favor of, but like the medicinal cherry you find in like Eagle Rare, obviously, and I know that's not what this is, but like that's just the flavor I got from this.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the finish was medium, and unlike you, Joe, this has actually worked its way to my last glass.
Oh wow! Ooh, very interesting. Okay, all right. Let's go down to KC. What did you think? First impressions on Glass 5?
Well, you got to compare it to everything else that you've had.
Right.
And everything else that we've had has had a sweet overtone. Caramel, cinnamons, some of those typical notes. This one to me was a bit different. On the nose, I got, this is going to be an unpopular opinion, I got tobacco, leather, toffee.
Okay.
On the palate, I got molasses. We talked about molasses the other night. I got molasses on the palate. It dried my palate out. I found myself finding some grassy notes, and I can't help but believe that this is going to be a high rye. Just because of those grassy notes, the spiciness that's there, I'm feeling rye.
Okay.
Finish is short. and that molasses, that grassiness just continues to come on to me. It's not dissipating. I don't dislike it. It's not as grassy as like a Bibb and Tucker or something like that, but it does have what I would consider high rye notes.
Okay. Well, I definitely agree, and it is not unpopular with me. I actually love it when I get, because I like higher age. Not saying this is higher age, but the notes you get with the tobacco, the leather, sweet oak, I just absolutely love those. I was picking up, remember when we were talking the other night, molasses, but like molasses sugar cookies. So when you get that sweetness in there, and then oak. So like you're taking the molasses sugar cookie dough and spreading it on a charred oak barrel. That's
now for me, it wasn't the sugar cookie. This was the actual molasses this time. There was a slight bitterness to the back end of it that went along with that leather and tobacco.
Yeah.
Which must be the barrel that you slathered it on for you.
Yeah, you're getting a little more of the char than the cookie. Okay.
Probably.
Let's go to Paul. Paul, what did you think first impressions on Glass 5?
Well, I got kind of like a burnt umber color. Definitely it was sweet right off the rip. But then when you go back in for your second sip, third sip, it was just a lot of oak char, high ethanol, bitter, sweet. I can't pick up any of the molasses, but it was just kind of, it was just kind of one of those nights like I'd come home at 7 a.m. and I'm ready to kill somebody at work, slam it and go to bed.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It was dry to me on the tongue and a very short finish.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I'm definitely side by sides are going to be definitely interesting with these. Aaron, what did you think first impressions on Glass 5?
Well, this is kind of interesting hearing everybody else's because my finish is right just north of my stomach is where I'm feeling it, and it's still sticking around right now. The only difference that I've had, there was a lot of spiciness. The rye spiciness was there. But I was getting like a potpourri or floral note in the on the palate.
Okay, interesting. All right, let's go up to Kevin. Kevin, what did you think first impressions on Glass 5?
So I thought the aroma was very light smelling at first. I agree with the group or with half the group. It's very oak. I got red hot the very first sip. After that, it was just jarred wood. This one gave me a Kentucky hug, though. None of the other ones did. And I don't know if it's fair because the first four could easily be like great. This one, I have to agree with Chris, and I'm going against the grain. It's not really my favorite.
Wow. Wow. Okay. All right. Very interesting. Okay. And Don and Mike, let's see what you guys thought about Glass 5.
So either we're drunk or Chris changed his shirt.
He did.
Little column A, little column B, maybe, but sorry.
Well, what I learned the other night about Chris is he sweats a lot.
Okay.
Anyways, sorry. Chris came on screen and I was like, that wasn't the shirt he was wearing.
Hang on, let's go. Let's show it off, Chris. Yeah, he had to go a little professional, a little swagger.
He's got a work call after this.
No, I actually have to leave here.
All right, let's get back to the
bourbon.
Oh gosh. All right. Anyways, so this one, yeah. I wouldn't say that, Kevin, you were going against the grain. I feel kind of the same way as you. It was interesting to hear, Joe, that you put this immediately number one. Just for me, I got almost nothing on the nose, which was interesting. I couldn't pick anything out.
Yep.
For flavor, though, it was like it was sweet up front. It was a quick sweet. But then for me, it was like I think Casey said, like he thinks it's a high rye. I got like an earthy, minty note to it. And then it just kind of dried my mouth out. So I mean, I'm not saying I didn't like it, but this was kind of a miss for me. But it was fine.
Yeah, this is not my favorite either. I wrote down earthy as S on my sheet. So if
Not as F, as S.
S.
Okay.
You can tell we've been drinking a little bit.
Well, yeah. So, well, yeah, I got a little bit of spearmint on the nose initially, which was interesting. But yeah, very earthy. Not bad, but not my favorite.
Okay. So yep, I might be the outlier here because I'm just getting lots of sweet oak, dark flavors. It's heavy. What do you think?
Vanilla, butterscotch. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's really good. So I guess we're against the grain. It's okay.
You like what you like, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
We'll just take this one, and you guys can take.
It's interesting.
We'll split the rest. No problem.
The different notes that different people on different days can pull out.
yeah.
Well, and Don and I were talking, like, what would be interesting to us is doing this flight again and trying this one earlier in the flight.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, what would be the difference? Yeah.
Well, so that's going to be the important key is when we go ahead and we finish 6 here, going back the other way and side by siding. That'll really let you know. So I think we went through everybody. Did we miss anyone?
I have some of that one.
No? Okay. So now I'm going to go with 2 thumbs up on this one. I know that's not going to be
I'm like half down.
Yeah.
It's
wow. Mixed on this one for sure. Okay.
I'm with Paul.
Well, let's go ahead and and get into glass 6. Spend some time with that. I'll get the countdown going, and we'll come back with your first impressions. Okay. So
I changed my shirt.
Chris is going to have to jump out here in a little bit. Thanks for being with us, Chris. He already sent me his order, so we'll let him just stick around as long as he wants to. Let's get his first impressions on 6 before he has to go, though.
Are you popping your collar?
What? No,
100%.
it's a quarter zip.
You changed your shirt again.
No, I put another shirt on top. This is a quarter zip sweater.
Anyway,
On the appearance, I thought this was, kind of thin, very viscous. I got a lot of spice and tobacco bite on the aroma, and then even on the flavor, I had a lot of tobacco and leather. I feel like this is probably the highest rye of the bunch. And the medium, the finish, I had a medium to long finish on this one.
Okay. He's probably got somewhere fancy to go, guys. Leave him alone. So, it was interesting. Jess right away mentioned like a toasted vanilla oak, of course. And I got that right away. Man, it made me kind of rethink and put, I've got 2, 4, 5, and 6 up near the top that I'm going to side by side. But it had a really hot finish to me for some reason, more hotter than the other ones did. What did you think?
No, I'm not meeting the finish, but
I thought it had a hot
I think
finish.
it was a little more oaky, but it's like a toasted oak. So it's not the oak that I don't like. It's like toasted vanillas, a little bit of caramel. It's probably in the middle of the pack, but I mean, it's good. Definitely better than 1.
All right. Well, now we got to go to Kevin because Kevin couldn't let Chris outdo him. He had to do a wardrobe change as well. So, Kevin, What do you
Wrong
think?
color.
First impressions on glass 6.
Oh, Kevin, pop the collar.
Oh, hold on. Let me pop the collar first.
There we go.
All right.
That's sharp.
So I got like what's the it's when it's not licorice, but it's like
The anise flavor.
yeah, I got that
Anus.
like off the first.
Anus.
And then,
Hey,
All right, that's the night. Good night, everybody.
Okay, go ahead, Kevin.
no, I guess I didn't catch it. I got the toasted oat once that was brought out. But other than that, I mean, I like it.
Okay.
I was too busy changing my outfit to
Yeah.
get into this one.
To be like Chris.
It's cute.
Everyone wants to be like Chris.
Good luck.
All right. Don and Mike, before we get too far off the rails here.
So we changed our shirts too.
Oh,
Kevin, I know. I was saying, Kevin, I love you.
I'll be honest. We were more concerned about changing our shirts too, but this is spicier.
Yeah. I agree with the toasted oak note, but the first thing that Mike and I said to each other with this tasted almost like a rye.
Yeah.
I have a higher rye, whether it's a rye or a high rye mash bill. That's what I got. It is sweet, but for me it was the more obvious, and at least what I'm getting right now is a higher rye mash bill in my opinion.
Yeah.
More of this one.
This is right in the middle of the pack for me.
Mm-hmm.
That's, this is really, really interesting because I'm thinking back to the pours we have in here. I don't know that any of these pours are necessarily a high rye recipe.
Interesting.
So this is going to be very interesting. Let's go to Landon. Landon, what did you think? First impression on glass 6.
No wardrobe change.
Yeah. I was gonna like flip the hat backward. I was like, this one, cherry oak on the nose. This one was the only one that after you drink it tastes like you're smoking like a cigar. Got like that campfire with that sweet cherry.
Really?
Had like a nice hot finish. So yeah, this one I don't know. This one's a tough flight. This one's I'm at like 2, 4, 5, and 6 now. So this one's
Yeah, it's gonna take some side by side.
What the hell's Casey doing down there?
I changed my wardrobe.
He
too.
changed his face. He's a skull now.
He's got to give notes now.
Hang on, we got to go to Casey because everybody's in on the act now. All right.
I figure with this nose, I should be able to pick up anything.
There you go.
All right. So for this one, I actually I thought the nose was kind of timid, and then I got into it and I got more ethanol. But as I really dug in, something stood out. It was kind of like a sugar cookie to me. Sweet note. Then I got to the palate and it was just sweet. I just got sweet. I would almost guess this is a wheated bourbon, the way it's so sweet. I get oak, honey. Landon mentioned cigar. So I'm going to agree with that. There's a little bit of a, I don't know, like a Swisher Sweet type of cigar in there.
Mhm.
It's decent, but it's still middle of the road for me. The bloom was nice. The finish was short.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. See, the finish was maybe medium to medium long for me, but I was on board with Landon. I got a lot of heat on the finish there. But let's go to Aaron. Aaron, what did you think? First impressions on glass 6.
I got the spiciness. I got the rye. I thought it was well balanced. It didn't have any like tannic notes that would take away from the palate. I don't know. I just now compared it to the other ones, and there's a couple other ones that have more of a richness to it that I like better.
Okay. All right. Very interesting. Oh man, I was trying to. Okay. Well, I need to get a studio with a soundboard because I was about to play. I was trying to bring up "Pretty Fly for a White Guy."
Riff Raff? That looks like Riff Raff.
So hey, at least we're having fun tonight.
Hey, Chris still has you beat. He did a wardrobe change and a room change.
He did. Look at
that.
It's because Chris is cooler than you guys.
Yeah, well, Chris is getting ready for date night, I think.
I can't move my station. Chris has me beat.
Yeah.
Joe, you don't remember?
He took it to level.
Forget Joe.
Chris, are you going out?
Oh, our date night? Oh, my bad.
Oh, Joe's going out too?
No.
Hey, don't worry about it.
I can't move my station either, which you're looking at right now.
All right. Well, let's go to Jason. Jason, let us know what you thought about Glass 6.
So, I like where people are saying the tobacco and that. I got like the cherry tobacco on it, like and then the finish on it was more of like the spicy Red Hots, like the Red Hots candy and stuff like that. So the sweetness of it, but the cinnamon spice on it too. So
yeah, I think that's what I was getting. The heat of those like cinnamon Red Hots on the back.
Yep. That's what I was getting on it. But the sweetness with it too.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Paul, what did you think about Glass 6?
Honestly, I'm kind of confused with it. I'm definitely getting a sweet and spicy, like a rye spice. I'm just plain getting sweet, which is kind of leading me back to maybe like candied fruits, or cooked fruit of some sort. Not necessarily like apples or whatever, but something cooked, like a fruit that's cooked. I'm getting some toffee, caramel, and vanilla off of it. It is buttery, and it does have quite a bit of ethanol to it. It's got a lot of oak on the nose, and the finish is just short to me.
Okay.
Even though it's kind of viscous on the tongue, it's just short.
Okay. Interesting.
I
All
agree
right.
with that.
What did you think?
You stole my thunder. I was the one who said
I
toasted
did.
vanilla oak.
Yeah, I mean you
Right
can
off
say
the
what you want,
sheet
but
of
I mean,
bacon.
or leave them here. And if you
Oily,
need
a little.
I have like 40 of them at home. I bought
Yeah,
them
leave
on
'em
Amazon.
I don't know. I mean, it's okay. I think it's middle of the road.
Yeah. I mean, she always has really good notes, and I take them for my own. so.
Sometimes.
All right. Did we get everybody? I think we got everybody. So where are we at here? I'll probably be a thumbs up for this one.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah,
Oh,
I like this one.
iffy. Okay, so this one's a little more mixed. So although these are all, I think, well received, we've got some pours that are kind of mixed in the group and some that are better than others. So now we've gotten to the point where we've tasted through all 6. We've given everybody a chance to give their first impressions. So now what we're going to do is just open it up kind of free form, right? Go back, taste through the other way, do some side-by-sides, talk it out amongst yourselves, and try and start narrowing down your ranking. I know I have to go back. I'm 100% going to have to go back to 2 and 4.
Yeah.
But it's been a long time since we've been back to 1.
I was going to say
One's delicious.
Smell number 5. So number 5 was
Yeah.
the one that I couldn't pick anything up. When I went back to it, it was like savory bacon.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like after 6, it got
No.
really intense.
So 5,
Salty.
I get the
Like,
bacon,
there's
like a
saltiness.
salted, like
Yeah.
a sugary, like a candied bacon,
Yeah, like
exactly.
Yep.
like a candied bacon. I could see that. I'm also going back to the nose on 1. The nose on 1, I think Jeff said it had it right. It's like a Starburst or a Skittles, but with some sawdust on it.
My favorite.
Like a buttery. Like a buttery note. Like if you, I don't know. It sounds weird, but a buttery red Starburst.
Wrapped in sawdust. I love it.
Yeah, I mean,
not my
It's
favorite. It's
good.
actually at the bottom for me, but
yeah, I mean, for what it is, I think it's good. It's not my preferred flavor profile. I think it's decent.
Is that one?
Small two.
I don't know. 3 though.
Ooh,
Okay.
like 6. 6 is about plans.
1 actually has a little higher ethanol than it did when I first started it on the nose.
Okay. No. You know, I think 1 and 3 are probably my bottom 2. Not that they're bad, but I just don't think they live up to the other ones. And I'm not sure which one.
Which one did you drink there? 3.
You gotta be real picky for these.
I know.
These are awful. Just give them all to me. They're don't drink anymore. Send them my way.
Number 1's mellow corn.
Send all the mellow
I'm
corn
sold now.
Send all the mellow corn to Kevin.
So here's a question: how long were these bottles open before they were poured into the samples?
So all of these are all new craft bottles. All of them.
That surprises me.
Well, Casey, and then we let them sit for about 20 minutes in the glasses before we.
Oh, that's so good.
I cracked them and poured it right away. So
You're a madman.
Well, I got into it late, and I think that's maybe a reason why my notes were so different than all of yours.
Yeah, could be.
Yeah, that one's the worst.
Okay.
Hey, is soy like a tasting note in bourbon? Because that's what I said.
Soybean?
Yeah.
No, it's soy sauce.
You a soy boy?
Yeah.
100% that is a tasting note.
It's not
And
gonna be-
mommy.
Yeah,
Wow.
edamame. Yeah, savoriness.
Damn,
So,
soy. What
so
number did I
I
put?
went back to 4. 4, I don't think I like as much now.
Really?
I don't think I like 4. I think I still like it better than 6.
Oh,
No.
I'm just gonna rate my top
I
5
think I have
and then the one I don't like.
Yeah, I think
That's
I'm
one
gonna
way.
have to start.
It's pretty good.
Man, I want some candied bacon now. After that.
Go to Wendy's, get some candied bacon. Or not Wendy's, Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Make your own. Make
Bob,
your own.
yeah. Well, you can make
Bob
your own
Evans.
plant.
Yeah.
Bob
It's-
Evans.
10:15.
First watch does some candy bacon that's really good.
Bob Evans was
Okay.
doing candy bacon for a while.
All right.
Oh, when
I know
if,
Webb has his.
Yeah.
You guys,
if you have your
if you're
rankings,
good,
give me a
give
thumbs
us a
up.
thumbs up.
Okay, so we're gonna start going through the rankings. For those of you that are new with us, for Jason and Casey and Paul, what happened to? Oh, Paul dropped out. Hang on, Paul. Let me get you back in here. There we go. Now I got you. So
All right.
for the rankings,
Whatever's left is all going into 1.
so for the rankings, this is what I want you guys to do. You're gonna give me by glass number your favorite to least favorite. So I'll give you mine. My favorite was glass 5. My least favorite was glass 1. So I'm gonna go 5, 2, 4, 6, 3, 1. And we have the same one, don't we?
We do.
We do. We
Yep.
have the same one. Okay.
5, 2, 4, 6,
So
3,
so
1.
I'm gonna call you guys out one by one.
That's
You're gonna give me your glass number, favorite to least favorite. Okay. So let's go up. Don and Mike said they were ready. Let's go up. Mike, give us yours.
2, 4, 6, 5, 1, 3.
Okay. And Don.
I'm very close. We just switched one. I'm 2, 4, 6, 1, 5, 3.
Okay. And I think Aaron said he was ready. Aaron, go ahead with yours.
Okay, 4, 5, 6, 2, 3, 1.
Okay. And KC says he's ready. KC, give us yours.
2, 3, 1, 4, 6, 5.
Okay. And Jason, I think you said you were ready, right? Go ahead and give us yours.
4, 2, 6, 3, 1, 5.
All right. And Landon, were you ready?
Yep.
Okay.
2, 4, 5, 6, 3, 1.
Okay. And Kevin, are you ready?
Yep. I'm gonna go on a limb and say 2 is gonna be the winner, but I'm gonna go 2, 1, 6, 4, 3, 5.
Okay. And Paul, are you ready?
Yep. I'm gonna go 3, 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6.
All right. And then Chris was 4, 3, 6, 2, 1, 5. We might be the outliers. Did anyone else have 5 in either first, second, or third place? Raise your hand. Okay, so just a couple. All right, interesting.
You guys are all wrong.
Yeah, I guess we're wrong. So for those of you
like what you like.
that are new, this is a golf scoring. So for example, your first place would get 1 point. Your second place would get 2 points. The lowest score wins. So if everybody put the same glass in first place, it would win because it would have the lowest score. So I'm going to tally up the scores. I'll be back with our group winners. You guys, if you've got any left, finish your fours, talk amongst yourselves.
I was gonna say, Kevin, what I drank a few of them, but I had like 3 or 4 of them left. They blended not too bad.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. This is I put
Does anybody-
all my remainders left. This is by far the best. It's the blend of all of them.
The blend of
choosing
all
7?
6 was better than
Kevin
everything.
chooses
All of them
7.
are the best.
Does anybody
And I
have any
even
bottle
add
guesses?
the blade and bow to it as well.
What'd you say,
Can
Jess?
I ask what
Any
the?
bottle guesses?
I was just going to ask.
Number
I'm
2.
gonna say number 1. Number 1's got to be Blanton's.
Okay.
We
I-
think number 2 is Old
Number
Forester.
1.
OF, we thought number 2.
Oh, I thought
Okay.
one was
I put
Four
number
Roses.
2 as the Old Forester.
You put 1 as the Old Forester?
No, 2.
2?
Yeah, that's what we put 2.
But see, then Joe tells us that one of these isn't in there, so
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know.
That which makes it so much more
Possibly,
fun.
I thought if Jim Beam's still in there, possibly number 3.
As soon as I smelled number 2 and got the cherry,
Yeah,
Old
that's what we
Forester.
said.
Maybe I'll be embarrassed myself saying this, but Old Forester 100 is like my wife and I's like favorite daily to have. So as soon as I smelled it, I was like, this has to be it, and it doesn't disappoint. And if not,
Yeah.
then maybe I'll have a new daily.
Number 4,
bad-
I put,
These are
Four
so
Roses.
fun though to see,
Yeah.
what
I don't think the
what
Russells
you
is
like
in there
truly what you like.
What
That's
were
a good
they?
call, Kevin.
What do you say?
because
I think
he put it
Russell's
in
might have
the
been.
Yeah.
Hold on, what'd you
It's a
say,
good
Kevin?
call, Kevin.
No,
Can I-
Russell. Kevin said.
No way.
I
Russell's
think
in there.
Russell's might have been 2.
Which one did Kevin, what did you say Russell's was? 6?
No,
He doesn't
I
think
think Russell's in the locker. That's why he didn't have a
Got
bottle.
knocked out.
Joe not having a Russell is how embarrassing.
I've got about 6 Russell single barrels.
Oh shoot!
Oh, did I just give it away? Yes, Russell single barrel is in this.
put
That was
Russell.
my guess
No.
on Wednesday.
So you guys have already given me your rankings and your impressions, so I will tell you which one was not in it. The Jim Beam single barrel was not in it.
Okay.
All right.
So
Old Forester was not in it. I was like, what?
damn
It could have been.
So
It
here's
could have been,
the
Joe.
better part. I won't give you what replaced it until the reveal.
All right.
And there has to be, it's a Kentucky, right?
It's a Kentucky single barrel. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no lineup. I was like, that doesn't make sense. Why was that thing in there?
What was the irony that Joe didn't have a Jim Beam single barrel?
I mean, yeah, it's almost as bad as Russell's.
Because I drink it all.
Well, and then you picked one up that morning.
After he filled them though.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Are you gonna reveal the substitute before you announce it?
Oh shit! My battery's gonna die.
You'll find out as it goes.
Okay.
Kevin, get a charger.
Mm-hmm.
Casey, I would
So-
just like to take the time to say that it's about time that you joined a virtual blind plate.
Oh, he was giving. Did anybody watch?
Yeah, I think I called them out on Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah. So Chris was giving him a lot of hard time, and they had a little back and forth in that one. That was pretty.
Casey, I also just want to say it's so awesome to see how, like, I don't want to I'm not taking credit for it, but I was at Joey's that night telling you to do shorts. Your shorts are getting hundreds and hundreds of video or views, man. Dude, I'm so happy for you, dude. Awesome, dude.
I need to do one this week. I haven't done one in a while since before I went to Louisiana, so I need to get on that. But
I've been watching your
suggestion was great.
Dude, I've been watching your 30-minute videos, and I looked up your channel, and I saw all the views on your shorts, and I was like, yes, let's go, dude.
Blown up.
The work that's involved in doing a short is insane.
Isn't that crazy for like a minute video? It's absurd.
Well, now I could just do it on my phone like everybody else does, but I would rather take an excerpt from the Verbcast and do that.
I
think you're doing it right.
The work is
you run
just
through CapCut and just.
You could do like Josh and Aaron do and just do your bloopers.
Oh, there you go.
Those are hilarious.
Yeah. I don't have bloopers. I'm perfect.
No. What Chris is trying to say though is using CapCut is the right way to go.
Yeah.
What's CapCut?
It's just an editing software that you can download. It's an app that you can download on your phone, and you can just take your longer form videos. You take little excerpts from it, and you just chop it down into 30-second, 1-minute videos, and then you just. Yep.
Yeah.
I just use Premiere, and Premiere's got a way for you to redo the timeline and make it make it 9 by 16.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy for you though, Casey. It's awesome.
All right, we've got our rankings. Who wants to guess at what glass came in first place? Two came in first place. Guess on last place?
Five, maybe.
Last place was glass 1.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So
that was my second favorite.
Actually, glass 5 came in fourth place.
Good point.
Glass 5 came in fourth place. Glass 5 and 6. So 6 came in third place.
That's what I had.
5 and 6 were only separated by 1 point.
Oh, wow.
So I'm gonna give you the points and the rankings, and then we'll do the reveal. So in last place, glass 1 was 50 points.
My pen's
In fifth place, glass 3 with 46 points. In fourth place, glass 5 with 42 points.
That was my bottom 3.
In third place, it made it to the podium. It just edged out glass 5. Glass 6 with 41 points.
Before 2.
Just edged it out. Now we jump up significantly. These glasses were very much preferred. In second place, glass 4 with 27 points.
Wow.
So it did much, much better and did phenomenally across the board. First place, glass 2, 22 points.
Wow. That's impressive.
That's impressive for Old Forester.
That is.
That's impressive.
So that's what everybody thinks. Let's see. So,
Didn't Kevin call glass 2?
in last place, glass number 1 in last place, I don't think it's any surprise.
Blanton's.
Blanton.
Let's go.
And everybody here are experienced whiskey drinkers. Blanton's is a good whiskey. It's a sweet Buffalo Trace. It's 93 proof. It's just kind of okay. But it has a pretty bottle and a horsey. So
It's a collectible.
Right.
It is a horsey.
I don't
know
Ancient Age 10 star.
That's right. You just filled the H&H 10 star. Exactly. That Paul has rebarreled for a few months. Okay, moving on. In fifth place, glass number 4 in fifth place. Let me make sure I don't mess this up.
Wait, what?
That's number 3.
3.
I'm sorry, glass number 3 in
Like
fifth
4 was
place. Not too surprising. Not bad. It came off much better to me in the start. Glass number 3, fifth place. 4 Roses single barrel.
You said that, didn't you?
Yep. Yeah, I did.
Wow.
That's not surprised.
No, wait, you called. I go
I'm impressed.
I thought
I
3
thought
might
that
have
was
been
Jim
McKenna.
Beam, but Jim Beam was gone.
I thought 3 might have been
Huge fan of Four Roses barrel strength small barrels. I wasn't really a fan of any of their products until recently. Their single barrel 100 proofs, I've been liking more and more.
Okay.
So,
Their barrel strength are my jam.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
honestly, I've had 2 of the OHLQ barrel strengths, and they've been fantastic. But
Oh.
I've never had the 100.
Agreed. Well, now you have.
Okay, that just blows my mind away because I'm not a big fan of Four Roses, and I picked that as my number 1.
Nice.
There you go.
Holy crap!
You got a daily drinker
Paul?
now.
Paul,
Holy crap! That blows my mind.
That's what we love about these blinds.
Yeah.
Okay, so now moving on in 4th place. Again, this bottle only lost to 3rd place by 1 point. 1 point separated this bottle. And it kind of hurts my heart. It turns out this is what I put in 1st place. And no, I did not cheat. I promise you. It is the Mommy Riffer, our very first barrel pick.
Oh,
The Mommy Riffer.
That was what?
Which one? Which one?
It's the new riff bourbon, right?
It is New Riff Bourbon. It's our Mommy Valley Whiskey Society pick, the very first pick we ever did, the Mommy Riffer. And I think KC nailed the notes on the bottle: aroma, tobacco and butterscotch, flavor, brown sugar, cinnamon, and marshmallow.
But that's his job. It's expected.
I don't get paid to do this.
I love this. It came out in the single blind first place for me. I think this was a great pick. I was really happy of it for the group. We've got another one coming.
Apparently we like it.
I like it.
Okay. Moving on. So that means what beat out our pick by 1 point. And I say we're in good company. We are in very good company because that was Russell's Reserve Single Barrel.
Number 6.
Number 6 in
got
3rd
that.
place, Russell Reserve Single Barrel. Now, this particular single barrel, this particular one was selected by Superfine Wine, Warehouse F, Floor 4. And this was a 9-year-old single barrel dumped November of 2021.
Nice.
So, Russell Reserve single barrel, 3rd place. So that means our 1st and 2nd place beat out some already pretty awesome whiskeys. So in 2nd place, glass number 4, and I love it so much that it finally did not win.
It's a McKenna.
Henry McKenna.
I like Henry McKenna.
Oh,
Henry McKenna. Now this is
That's my daily.
this is barrel 12589. It was barreled August 29th of 2012.
2012. Casey, we did 2011 that night.
Yeah, we did all those 2011 picks.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
why wasn't I invited to that?
And of course,
Wasn't my party.
you guys already know now. In 1st place, glass number 2 destroyed the competition. Old Forester single barrel 100 proof. This is the OHLQ Select barrel number 5281.
I wrote down OF when I poured it out in the glass.
So I was surprised. I know some of you got the banana classic Old Forester banana note. I really had to dig for it. I was not getting it on this like I normally do on Old Forester products.
Okay.
I was getting more chocolate, vanilla, brown sugar, which kind of surprised me. If I dug for it, I could get a little bit of the banana, but it was covered. You had your banana that was covered in 20 layers of chocolate.
Yeah.
See, for me, Old Forester 86 is where I get the banana, but when you jump to 100 and then you go
cherry.
1910 or 1920, I get a cherry out of it. So
I get the banana on all of those.
Oh, see, as soon as I smelled that glass, I got cherry, and I was like, yeah, I know Old Forester Brown. This is Old Forester.
Yeah. So that was the lineup. Obviously, the Jim Beam single barrel was not in. I subbed in our New Riff single barrel pick out of Covington, Kentucky. So still a Kentucky single barrel. I hope you guys liked the flight. Did you have any surprises or stand out to you guys?
It was solid. Solid.
I was surprised I put McKenna at number 4. What the hell?
Yeah. You know, McKenna single barrels do vary widely.
Yeah.
They do.
Well, that's what we were saying too.
Yes.
Is for me it's the New Riff single barrels vary widely for me.
For the bourbons.
Yeah, for the bourbons, the ryes are
pretty
always consistent. But I mean, we're all on the same page here. Where it's like Blanton's is good, but it's not great. So when I look back at my list, I was like, wow, I can't believe Blanton's beat out New Riff bourbon. You know, a bourbon's pick. No. But at the same time, it's like I've had a New Riff pick that was fantastic. I've had one that was like, yeah, it's not bad, but yeah, for me it was the fact that I put Blanton's over New Riff. Who am I? Come on.
So overall, our pick was very well received. Everybody loved it. I think it's phenomenal. But it's very interesting when that's on its own. And when you put different whiskeys up against others in their category, it changes things doing side-by-side tastings. And it changes things doing blinds, whether it's single or double blind. So, awesome.
We're going to go drink some Knob Creek 12-year now.
Yeah.
The overwhelming consensus is we still like the New Riff.
That's right. So we are now at an hour and a half. We try to keep these at about an hour and a half. I really appreciate you guys for joining us, participating. I hope you had a really good time. We do still have some people watching. Thanks for sticking around this far. If you're a Whiskey Society member and this looked really cool to you and you wish you were on screen drinking these whiskeys, make sure you pay attention to our events when they drop and sign up for the next virtual blind flight night.
Yep. And Thursday, right, Joe? Thursday.
And Thursday, make sure you check it out. There's advertisements for it everywhere. If you can't find a link, message me, message someone in the group. We'll get you hooked up. We're going to have a great time on Thursday. I hope everybody can get a ticket and attend.
Are you going to say we're doing Thursday?
Yeah.
Say it out loud. Like, what are we doing?
Again, so our public charity, our first ever public charity event, we are trying to raise money for Children's Hunger Alliance, providing food for kids in our local community and special spaces, which also helps kids in our local community. Those kids that are battling cancer, they're going through treatment, they can't leave their homes, they can't play with their friends, they can't go to prom, they can't go out to football games and soccer games and basketball games. So we step in and create a space at their house where they can feel safe, comfortable, and help the healing process. So great causes, great charities to support, and we're going to have a really good time having fun drinking some whiskey. So check that out. I encourage you. We will continue to have more charity events in the future. We are partnering with Bars Public House in May on an event. So look forward for that information to come. Pay attention to the website. Pay attention to the Facebook group. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't. And until the next one, cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers.